Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Geek Access podcast. I am here this week, as I always am, with Kory and Brandon.
Hello.
And this week we have Rick returning for 2 weeks in a row, and Kyle rejoining us after he took a couple weeks off. How's everybody doing today?
Super.
Awesome.
First 5 team.
I'm trying to murder all the bugs in my room. Now they're freaking me out.
Yes, I see on your webcam that look of concern, like you're looking up. I can't tell if you're questioning logic or if you like something needs to really die in that corner.
I got one.
That's his giant whiteboard with all of his equations on it, and he's just looking back and forth on them all.
The new Honda coming out soon.
Oh yeah.
He's asking questions that need to be asked.
Yeah. So we're back, week 6. We're excited. We are going to be announcing the winner for our Blizzard gift card at the end of the show.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are. July 11th. It is the 11th, right? Yes, it is. All right, cool.
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's 11th. That's what my computer tells me.
That's trust the electronics. Cool.
They will never betray me.
Is it Wikipedia, though?
All right, well, we got a full roster plus 2 guests, so let's get right into this. Let's get right into it this week. This week's What's Up segment is brought to you by the Geek Access Podcast t-shirt. As always, you can buy one today at bit.ly/IG store. Kory, we will start with you. What has your week been filled with?
Filled with a lot of Wolfenstein. I finished that up and then immediately started it back over and did the opposite timeline, because if you save the two people you save in the first mission, like, it changes the storyline and you see different characters and stuff, so it's really cool. Makes you play it.
Does everyone die?
Basically, yeah. Good. Yeah. That's how every game should end. Everybody died.
I spoke to you on the phone. No Mecha Hitler.
No Mecha Hitler. That was depressing.
Yeah.
There was a Mecha boss.
But now, who will end all the Mecha Jews? What will we do?
Well, you know,
it's the future, so they're all gone already.
you know why Mecha Hitler wasn't there?
Why?
Because Rick was playing Abortion Hero.
That's right. We just got it down.
Stopped it
I put some coat hangers to those people like it was nobody's business.
Nice, dude.
Oh, boy.
Besides that, just Warframe. Been playing that a bunch, jumping to planet to planet. That game's just super fun to mash on and just waste time on.
Right.
Yeah, and Beat Don't Starve. The 7 days that you have to go through, that's just too rough. Like, with the super cold winters where you have to make warm clothes. It was really annoying. But it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you watched Orange is the New Black, you were saying?
Oh, right, yeah, The Orange is the New Black. Finished both seasons of that. I freaking binge-watched that thing so hard.
Right.
I kind of felt bad, but, I mean...
But you didn't.
It's a good show.
I was reading an article that was saying people who binge-watch TV will die years earlier than those that don't.
It's fine.
Whatever.
So basically, anyone that owns Netflix will die.
Yeah, we're all going to die.
Last 10 years are the worst ones, right?
See, that's why I smoke. You're cutting off the shitty years.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Something in your mouth. That's why you should.
Hookers and blow. That's all you need.
Woo! It's snowing.
Hookers and blow. There we go.
Jeez.
Well, then, let's pass the focus over to Brandon. Brandon, you weren't with us last week, so how have you been the last couple weeks?
Terrible, but I finished The Wolf Among Us, so I got that going for me, which was good. It's a good time.
Very cool.
Wolf Among Us, super duper. Telltale. doing good stuff as always.
Another well-told story by Telltale.
Tell me about the ending, please. I want to know.
No, I really don't want to ruin
There's
it.
lots of sex.
No.
All I want to know, what was the wolf among us in the end? Was he there?
Oh, God.
He wasn't.
Jesus.
I'm disappointed.
Was the wolf among us?
Kory, do you really want to know? Like, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Well,
I do
no.
know.
Let's
It's for the good of the show. I don't care.
no. Let's wait till next week's show to spoil it because it did just come out this week. So
Fine, I'll play it.
Yeah. all right, play it and beat it.
I'll tell you like tomorrow or something.
Okay,
Yeah, discuss it up here. We'll talk about it on the show next week. So
Hey,
fine, whatever.
cool.
I'll
that
play it.
and hoping I get into the Razer Nabu beta. So fingers.
That'd be
crossed, you know.
cool.
Wearable tech, it's coming strong.
Meh.
And it seems like a pretty versatile one.
I think Razer's a smart company to do it as well too, because you've got Razer has a following in a similar form to Android or Apple, so you've got the people that will buy it based off the fact that it's Razer, because it's green and it will match the rest of their computer peripherals. So do we think?
Like more than just green stuff. Okay?
Do we think that a Razer smartphone is next?
I don't trust it.
Yeah, unless they get
All I'm
signed with the
saying
right
is-
people.
All
I mean,
my
they did
LED
sign-
is blue, so I don't know if green's gonna really work for me.
I think
Yeah,
they're
I've got a
gonna
Razer keyboard. It's
just
purple.
sticking with a bunch of like apps. Like they've got the Razer comms already, and just continuing with that. Like the Nabu works off an app too. I'm pretty sure.
Right,
I think they'll stick with that. They're not that silly.
right.
Their apps are made.
Well, plus they've tried standalone systems that just they haven't taken off that well, right? Like I don't like they have the Razer notebooks, which are priced way higher than they're worth, and then they had
but
that
they're
little.
awesome.
They had it's similar to the sense of the Alienware though. Like you're paying more for the name.
So
Yeah.
the Switchblade has the little like the touch screen that you can customize, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But
The
There-
LCD buttons.
there's markup there for sure.
Oh yeah,
See, I couldn't touch them after mouses. Like I love their headphones, but I had the Naga.
Nice.
Even with hardcore raids and WoW, like heroic raids, there's so many goddamn buttons on my Naga that
There's too many.
I was pushing buttons that I didn't mean to push. I'd be going in to hit with my rogue with like a killing spree, and I would vanish, and I would get super pissed. Like I'd start screaming at my monitor, like, "No, I didn't push you. This is not what's going on."
I did not push you. See, I would have to agree with you with the switching away from Razer. I would have to disagree with you too many buttons because I actually switched to the Logitech, I believe it's the G60 or G600, excuse me, which is Logitech's version of the Naga, but the buttons are more designed to fit to your thumb, so you don't get lost on the numpad as easily.
See, I'm telling you, I have the Corsair right now for the mouse. I have a Corsair gaming mouse, and I actually enjoy it way more than the Naga.
You have the one that has like the built-in fan.
No, just a Switch LED light mouse.
Oh, okay.
I love it. Just the setup is perfect for MOBAs and for, almost any raiding environment. I don't need more than 7 or 8 buttons on my mouse, so it works
Right.
great for MOBAs too.
Fair enough. Cool. Kyle, let's go over to you. You are returning after a few weeks off. How's your week been?
I want to sleep.
You want to sleep?
Yeah, I've been playing some games. As I just said, the last 5. Use my Steam or was it Europa? Been watching the Dota 2 International. Played the new Company Heroes. Did Wolf Among Us as well. And Payday 2 with all the new releases coming out. So
Cool.
Is the DLC for Payday any good? Because I
it's
see
just
it.
guns. Most of the stuff
Is
just
that
comes
it?
out.
Yeah, the shotgun pack is like the Big Bang pack was a full heist.
But most of the new missions have been trickling in slowly. So it's okay.
See what their countdown is going to end up with. It's like 30 days from now. So,
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Are we thinking maybe Payday 3, or is it too soon?
No, it'll just be more DLC.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Cool.
So
Now you mentioned Company of Heroes as well. How is that? I played the first one. I didn't pick up the second one yet.
2 is really good. Combat's a little different. Command structure is really good. The reason why I've been playing it as of late, like I binged on it when it first came out, but they've released the DLC where it adds the Americans and the West German, the OKWs. So over Commando West, so it's pretty good. One of the factions is still a little OP, like the OKW is, but overall, good game.
Cool. Is it still very similar concept though? Still almost like that simulation style RTS.
Yeah, it's like an I like Relic RTSs way more than I ever liked Blizzard RTSs. I mean, they're both good for different reasons, but like the combat system for a Relic game is more in depth and less about like economies and stuff. It's more about positioning and movements of combat over the map.
Right.
So,
That's cool.
yeah, it's really good where you have like cover systems and like you can break stuff and you have to like charge through and have breakers and like there's tank mechanics where you can tread stuff. So. And like shells bounce off, so it's pretty cool.
Cool. Sounds fun. Well, let's turn it over to our last guest, Rick. Rick, what have you been up to this week?
Actually, like I said, I've been playing Borderlands 2 a whole shit ton. I'm still on it, but it's I watched almost all of Knights of Sidonia, which I said is the first 20 minutes. You look at the animation style. It's on Netflix. It's their first take on anime, and you're like, "What is this god awful crap?" And then after you watch it, you get hooked. Like after the first episode, you're like, all right, the storyline's actually pretty sweet. For a sci-fi, futuristic storyline, it's pretty sweet.
Nice.
But aside from Borderlands, like I said, I love MOBAs. I mentioned last week, I got to rank 28 Legend for NA for Hearthstone. I've been working on my Hearthstone. I'm back up into the top 100s for Legend. And, I've been playing Awesome Knots a whole bunch, because I bought it when it was on a Steam sale, and it's like a 2D side-scrolling MOBA. And it's actually incredibly fun if you haven't played Awesome Knots before. Like, it's a simplistic game. You set your loadout before you go, but just the style of play where you don't have to worry about that third dimension. Just that 2D side scroll element. It's top, bottom, or that small mid lane and just pushing in. It's incredibly fun. I've just been hooked on it almost all week between that and finishing up Knights of Sidonia.
Cool.
Nice. Borderlands 2, huh? Are the new DLCs even worth it?
Like I said, on the Steam Summer Sale, I got every single skin, all the DLCs, all the Headhunter packs, Borderlands 1 and 2, for basically $25.
Nice. Now, what's come out for DLC for it since last summer sale? Because I got that same package deal last summer sale.
Well, you got all the 4 or 5 DLCs, plus you have all the Headhunter packs.
Right.
And if you bought it at the summer sale, you also got the original Borderlands, Ultimate Edition, which is basically everything they did for the first one.
Right.
So you can kind of go for that last slow. If anyone ever did the last slow run for Halo 2, which is all legendary, all skulls, you can do the 100% completion on both games with everything for $25.
Cool.
Huh.
Very
Pretty
cool.
good deal.
Yeah, I would agree.
I've already played through that game too many times.
What's that, Borderlands?
Yeah, I played through Borderlands 2 and 1 completely on almost every character on the Xbox. I bought it again for PC. I need something to kill my time till Destiny and Evolve come out.
Yeah, Evolve looks awesome.
Yeah.
I know that they're not re-releasing Borderlands 2 onto the next-gen systems. No. They said that recently.
Well, I love Turtle Rock. I played a shit ton of Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. So much of it. So when they announced Evolve, I was like, I'm there. I'm going to make love to this game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it does look fun. I don't know. I was never a fan of the Left 4 Dead, and I think it's just because it's one of those.
Survivor then.
It's
one too many matches with Survivor. That's
well,
why
it's one of those games where because I don't know. I always have shitty luck when I get stuck with random people in those co-op versus AI. That's why I haven't. I picked up Payday 2 and I haven't touched it yet because my schedule is so whacked out that lining it up with other people that I know that play it, it's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
And I hate.
You have the same thing as I do. You have your kid, and then you're working the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So you only have a couple days off, and when I'm playing, it's I have the same problem with Awesome Knots. I get stuck with randoms, but it's just like any MOBA or any online co-op game. You eventually get good enough where you can just carry other people.
You carry everybody.
You just expect them to suck. You go into the game with the expectation, all right, I know you're not going to be good, and if you are, that's a bonus.
Right. Just expect the worst and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
Yeah, makes sense.
I hate pugs. It's just I throw a tantrum.
That's why I stopped playing League, because my pugs and fives. I was I jungle, but my top lane is just hey, I'm gonna feed the crap out of them now because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm sweet, this is a fantastic game.
Right. Yeah, Kory and I ran into that with Heroes this week.
God.
See, I want Heroes. I want just my love of MOBAs and strategy.
Right.
They need to give it to me. They need to not be assholes and just give me the alpha.
Are you sure you have to check mark a little box in your little settings?
Yeah,
I know how to
Did you
check
do that?
mark boxes, Corey. Checking is quite clearly a competent skill of mine. All right.
I checked it
Shit.
2 days later, got the beta. So that's all I'm saying. Okay.
I've been here since beta for Vanilla WoW.
Right,
And
but right,
I have the proper check marks.
but have you updated it since Heroes was announced?
Yes.
Okay,
I have. I've updated
okay.
all my presets.
Okay. All right, we're just making sure. Calm down.
You're all like, hey, have you checked it?
Yeah,
Have you signed-
Brandon's got his, and he's like, "Oh, I played it the week I got it, and then I just play League."
Did you give them the last 4 of your social? 'Cause that's important.
Did you sign over the rights to your firstborn?
Oh, yeah. Always.
It works. Cool. All right. Well, it sounds like we've all had pretty fun weeks, except for Brandon, who's totally miserable. Yeah. Hey,
Random girl picking up right now, so that's positive.
Yep.
Amber's cleaning up the room. Hi, Amber.
It's a good job.
It works. It works. All right. Well, we will segue into our weekly news segment, which is brought to you by Patreon. You can join others in helping support the Geek Access podcast. Get some cool show memorabilia while you're at it. Get access to our pre- and post-show recordings and a whole bunch of other good stuff. Find more information on that by going to bit.ly/supportgeekaccess. We'll hit our first news article of the week, which is the big one. Destiny beta release has been given a date. Rick,
Yes.
I'm happy to say that us PS4
Yes.
owners are getting it first.
Getting it 4 days early, you pieces of crap.
And also the collector's editions have been revealed and priced.
Yeah, I already bought
Ooh.
that.
Of course
What do they have in it?
They
You have your reserves, you have your bonus content, your art book, your standard collectors, but the biggest part is you get bonus content. You get bonus armor, Vanguard armor. You get the natural, the bonus content edition, which you can pre-order by itself, or you can get it with the limited edition. Because you have limited edition, you have ghost edition, then you have the bonus content edition.
Huh.
Yeah, you're getting
Too many editions.
typical modern, like you get your steel case, the steel bookcase, and shit to hang on the wall and shit to put
Yeah,
on your
usual
table.
stuff.
Yeah, a whole bunch of collector stuff. It's nothing.
Like I said, I'm an Xbone user, but still, I mean, it's the same game for everybody. Every release they do that they get first, like we may get a later release on the beta, but even the content that PlayStation gets first, it's only timed.
Right? Yeah,
Xbox
it's
will
just
eventually
like
get it.
it's just
So it
like
makes
what
no
COD
difference.
does with Xbox. So
I
Yeah.
really do think that's the better way of doing it. Period.
yeah,
They're basically what Bungie's trying to do is like, hey, this is a brand new audience. Let's reach out to the new audience and try and basically get a grasp on them. It's like, hey,
Well,
we've
they're
never
betting
been.
a lot on this IP in general. They're just putting so much money behind it. Like it's going to be big no matter what. But
right.
Yeah.
you know,
Well, they have thousands of years of lore planned out. They already plan to make it into a franchise, not just a singular game.
Right.
The whole reason you're seeing PlayStation getting this exclusive, or not exclusive, but time content is they've never been with this platform before at all.
They're
So-
getting a little bit of exclusive content as well.
No, that's timed. If you're talking about the singular arena and the armor, they've already announced on the site. It says
All time.
asterisk. It's a time content.
so
Oh, okay.
I just
Yeah.
hope story-wise that game's going to be worth it. Because I honestly, I've seen zero on the story, and it just looks
As long
like
as they fix
Runner.
Peter Dinklage's voiceovers for the Ghost, it'll be worth it. So I'm
Right.
telling you right now, that wizard came from the moon.
Wizard
Any
came
Destiny
from the moon.
fans will get
Got
that.
it.
Right. Yeah. It says. Oh, go ahead, Si.
well, I said I don't know what platform I'm going to buy it for. I mean, I'm probably going to actually pick up a PS4 just to play Bloodborne.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm probably going to get another freaking system and a giant freaking TV.
It's worth it, dude. The PlayStation.
I actually bought a PS4 this weekend just for
You did?
just for Bloodborne. I'm still getting Destiny on my Xbox One, but I am such a huge From Software fan that I actually bought my PS4 this weekend on Dell.com since I have a card and I can do payments just for Bloodborne. That's all I
Yeah.
care about in that whole
Right.
It's FromSoft is just a solid company, no matter what you do. Have
If
you
you're a
picked it up
Souls,
since
go ahead, Kyle.
Well, I said, has Nate picked it up? We've been all, like, me and Corey have been yelling at him to try it. And he's just like,
No, Dark Souls, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I played it for a half
Still,
hour.
It's not long
If
enough.
you're a fan anywhere of the Souls series, like anything by From Software, you're gonna love. If you
Right.
played any of the Souls games and you've gotten into that cult
And Armored
franchise,
Core
where
is,
it's-
Armored
so-
Core is really good, too. Like,
I played Armored Core all the way from before, like Armored Core Arena.
Oh, such good games. So,
I loved Armored Core
That
2.
disappeared.
Loved it.
That IP is like disappeared.
What's
8
that,
Ball is a
Armored
piece
Core?
of shit. That's all I'm gonna say. 8 Ball is such a piece of crap.
So, Rick, according to what I'm reading here, PlayStation gamers are going to have exclusively. They're going to exclusively have the expansion packs until at least fall of 2015, and Bungie is still working with Sony to work out a longer deal.
Well, what they show is they have an asterisk. It should be all time. And the 2 expansions you should be able to pre-order for any system. What they
Right.
have right now guaranteed is you have 1 multiplayer map and an armor set for each class, which is a timed exclusive because it shows in the asterisk.
Right.
But they haven't announced the time frame, which I'm
Yeah,
willing to
they-
bet is going to be the same as any COD or any of the games they had on Xbox, where you're going to see things like a week to 2 week exclusive early content.
Well,
But either
COD
way,
it's
we
about a
all
month.
get the same game.
exactly.
Right. With COD, it's about a month, but it's still.
Yeah, I think that's what is up for debate now, whether it's be a month or a couple weeks. I forgot there was a recent game announcement where they're going to do timed exclusive, but it's going to be timed exclusive for like a year. So I don't remember what game that is, but I know that.
I highly doubt Bungie would do that because Bungie
No,
got their fan base from Xbox.
Right, but
It's
you
not
got to
a big-
remember.
it's not a big company. It's
Microsoft heavily insulted Bungie too. They were paying Bungie less to have exclusive rights to the Halo property than they were paying Activision just to get maps a month early. So Bungie,
Actually, Bungie came to Microsoft first for the exclusive content, but they turned them down. That's the chitter. I can't confirm it, but that is the chitter chatter.
There were
from the web.
There were arguments on both sides of the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was-
I think
Board
either way we're
meetings.
the same game because Bungie knows like the whole reason I own an Xbox One is solely for the fact that even though 343 owns it, I like the first reason I bought an Xbox for 2 games, Halo and Psychonauts. That's all I cared about.
right? I
And
will
we'll
say
We'll
that
get Sunset Overdrive too. That's coming out this year. Same
Yeah,
company.
that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
the Master Chief Collection looks pretty good.
Couldn't pick that up.
I wasn't a giant fan of Halo 4, so we'll see what they end up doing with 5.
I like 4.
Yeah, 4's pretty good.
I didn't really. The story didn't really grab me, and I did like the multiplayer just because the elements that I like about COD they finally threw into Halo. So Halo 4 multiplayer felt more like sci-fi COD.
The big thing for Halo with 4 and Reach was the armor abilities. There was no middle ground. It was either you effing hated them or you loved them.
Right.
Like you liked the ability to customize and put your armor abilities on, or you thought it was crap. Because basically everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna drop my armor lock and just blow everything up and be a dick."
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Balancing a shooter is always hard, especially on a console.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it can certainly be difficult. Whether there's so many factors between run speed and pulling the front of the gun up, and then you've always got the quick scope argument with, it comes up too fast, it comes up too slow, and then
well, I'll just give you a new thing. Like I know when I was playing Rust a couple months ago, you could make it so that the sensitivity of your mouse affected the sniper rifle,
right.
so that like it didn't sway at all. And then they fixed that immediately, and everyone started like whining. I'm like, it's an alpha; they can do whatever they want.
Right.
Right.
There's also where they can just quick headshot people on a multiplayer like DayZ type system. So
Right.
Daisy.
waste of a game.
I'm such a dick on that game.
Yeah, once it's
Game's so much fun.
once it actually
Like
goes
beat
full
people with
release, I
shovels.
think it'll be fun. I mean, it's very much improved over the mod.
I don't think it's gonna get finished. I never do. The DayZ actual like
You don't think it's
map-
going to get finished?
I don't
They
think
have
it's
the
ever.
standalone out.
Well, they're overhauling the engine, right? They're moving it from 2.5 to 3, right? So they got to
Oh,
rework
really?
the whole thing. Yeah, they got to rework the whole thing.
Well, we'll
Well,
see
that's
how that
frustrating, I
goes.
guess. I didn't hear that. I didn't know.
So just hell, development
That's
hell
sad.
for that game.
Right. We'll see how it goes.
It was fun when it was just a mod.
Oh yeah, the Arma 2 mod is still the best, I think.
See, I
Also,
actually
this month too, you have Magic 2015 is coming out this month for the the actual consoles.
415 comes out tonight.
what does?
Cards. Magic, the new core set.
I don't know about like I said, I haven't played the cards in a long time, but I know the console and PC versions are coming out this month.
It's already out on It's already out on iPad. It's I don't. I mean, I have Hearthstone. I don't need it on the iPad.
It's any strategy.
if I'm
Any
gonna-
strategy I'm looking
If I'm
forward to.
gonna play Magic, if I'm gonna waste the money, then I'm gonna waste it with the physical cards, which isn't gonna happen. So I'll stick with Hearthstone.
Oh, Magic still has a huge fall.
Oh, it's one of those things. Magic is to card games what World of Warcraft is to MMOs. No matter what else comes out, whether it be good, bad, or mediocre, Magic will always be around until Wizards does something else, which may not even be able to compete with itself. And it's similar with World of Warcraft. You've got
It's the core balancing basically.
yeah.
Like, every MMO has to measure up. Like almost every MMO, even for MMORPG.com, is measured up to the standard of WoW. And
right.
it's, the way it's degraded, it's not even that good. You can give a simpleton monkey a banana with the way they've done the talents and everything else, but still things are measured up to the standard of WoW.
Yeah, but wasn't that? I mean, I don't want to turn this into a big WoW talk, but wasn't that necessary? I mean, even with the complex talent system, all anyone ever did was go to WoWhead and be like, "Well, where the fuck do I put my points?" Like, so even the complexity in the game didn't challenge anybody. And if you've got something like that, in let's say a Path of Exile, or I'm having a total mind blank, but whatever, where you can design your character however you want. And there are hundreds of viable builds. Whereas in MMO style, there might be a few viable builds, but there will always be the best
You
builds.
go with the meta.
Yeah.
No, still, even then, even with MMO Champ, WoW had whatever else, you could copy somebody else's build, but there was still theory crafting and complexity to it. You can copy someone however much you want, but if you don't have the skill to use the build you copied, it shows drastically.
Right. Oh, no. Well, no. And
I think now it's a much more simpleton version. I don't like.
Oh no! It's simple. It's been toned down ever since vanilla. We all know.
Like you can find a place in heroic rating when you clearly don't deserve one. I don't like that. You need to earn your place. If you've been with a guild for a year, you can show it. You can show that you've made that progression. You shouldn't just be able to join in and because you're a certain class, you can copy somebody else's build. And because they've simpled it down so much, you can just hop right in.
Right.
Right. Here's a free level 90. Go do everything.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it still has that. Well, see, I like that, man. I don't want to waste weeks leveling alts. I like the fact that I can drop $60 and have a level
Free
90.
level 90 is fine. Being able to copy 6 goddamn abilities that everybody else uses for that same class.
Right.
No progression issues.
Right.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah.
That's saying
I mean,
any
you
simpleton
see.
can copy it.
You see the same thing, yeah. I mean, you see something similar to that with Hearthstone. Like everyone, you always have like the net decks, but there's that big discrepancy there where you can tell the difference between somebody like Trump who just decimates everybody and some Joe Schmo who copied his deck and can't get past rank 15.
Well, that's more. Those people are paying attention. I can tell you from personal experience. You're paying attention to cards drawn to cards left in deck. Those are the people you can tell a difference because you'll watch them scroll over and it'll highlight the cards they have left in deck. So they can know and memorize what they've drawn and what they've played and the play order they have.
Right.
And know what they have left. If there's 15
that's just
cards
any
left, so they
card
can
game
see.
probability.
Yeah.
That's how everyone does it.
But
Right.
in
Well,
the
that's
high
how
chance
the people that
tell
know what
when
they're
somebody-
doing.
If they know they haven't drawn 2 Molten Giants and they're a hand lock at 15 life and they still have 12 cards left in deck, there's a very high probability they're going to get that Molten Giant. So they can play around it and play defensively and save like a Argent Defender for when that Molten Giant comes, but still play defensively.
Right.
I
See,
mean, the talk, it just goes back to, like, for card games, it's just like Magic. Like, in high-level Magic tournaments, it's what people do. Like, you gotta know what's going on, you gotta know the probabilities on your card. It's a card game.
So
Right.
the biggest part for card games is knowing also, you have to basically know every card. Like, you have to know what's going to be in that tournament. You have to know what the presets are. Because, I mean, you want to know what you're going to be played. If you're seeing a white black deck, you're going to want to know what's expected.
Yep.
For your kills in the black and for anything else in the white. You need to pretty much know what's going to be playing out. Same thing for Hearthstone or any core Magic set. You have to know what's there so you can know what to expect based on color. And
right.
what's left in the deck and what's played.
Right.
Yep.
It's almost like blackjack, like counting cards. You have to kind of know what's there, what to expect, and what's left in the deck depending on that. And the only wild card is what's in hand, because you can never tell.
Right. Well, see, that's why I like what Arena does, because Arena mixes that up a little bit, because Arena eliminates the 2 cards per deck, or 2 of the same card per deck rule. You don't always get the cards you want. You know, you're going to see a rogue deck that may not have Leroy.
That'd be a miracle.
Right. Well, that's all that everybody ever plays. So I like the way Arena twists it up a little bit. Usually, what I do is I get to rank 20 every month. That way, I get my card back, and then I just play Arena for the rest of the month. That's kind of my focus in Hearthstone.
So that's why I fell away. I got the 20, 28 in Legend, and then it just
Didn't
fell
you
away.
guys
'cause
try
it's the same thing.
Infinity Wars for the other?
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah, I'll admit I like how Infinity Wars uses the computer system better than like Hearthstone. Hearthstone's a great
I actually
game.
got turned on to Infinity Wars because I was a big fan of the Lethal Frag stream, and he played it a lot.
So, I mean, we're just talking about online card games, though, now.
Right.
So,
Well, while we're briefly in the realm of the Hearthstone topic, Curse and Axaramis got priced last week.
So much money. Holy shit.
It's, how do you figure, man? It's $20 for a mini expansion pack.
Still, I mean, you picture most people are figuring an arena price, like 150, 200 in gold. So you're picturing.
no, isn't it 700 gold?
It's
Yeah,
it's
700
either
gold.
it's 700 gold per wing, or if you buy it all up front, it's $6.99 per wing if you buy it individually. For the first month, if you log in, the first wing is free, and if you buy them in the package, the remaining 4 wings are $20. So it's $5 a wing. It's not that bad.
Well, the remaining 3 wings. Your last wing is unlocked.
Aren't there
when
5 total
you-
wings?
Yeah, but your last wing is unlocked when you completed all 4 wings.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, still. So you get a total of 5 wings for $20 if you unlock the first wing in the first month and then buy the package deal.
But the estimated price was arena. Like almost everywhere you went, it was the estimated price was an arena buy-in price. So you figure the win max is $240, $248. So you're figuring
That
about
was the
$3 or
guess.
$4 per wing.
Yeah. Well, if you buy it in the group pack, it's close to that. And I mean, it was around, and I mean, I listened to the Angry Chicken podcast every week, and they were all basically guessing somewhere in the realm of $5, $6, $7 each.
So, I mean, it's going to be... People are going to buy it, no matter what. Let's just... it's a little expensive, and we'll see how it unlocks, and I don't know. I mean, I like Hearthstone, but I don't know if I want to throw down money on it. So,
Right. Right.
There we go. Just to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Brandon, you were playing it for a while. I know when your internet was out. You still playing it quite a bit?
Every now and again. I do what you do. I get to 20 and then I just kind of tinker with it.
Right.
I don't really do arena, but
I don't know how you guys could not want to get to legend rank. It's just so
'Cause
fun.
It's time,
6
man.
ranks are just so fun.
It's the same reason why I'm like not top gear score pally on my server anymore like I was back in Vanilla and Burning Crusade. I just don't have the time anymore. I don't care. I have other things to do and other things to play. I mean,
The only reason I can see is you have pay to win. You have a lot of pay to win warriors, and pay to win.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Trump got to legend rank with a completely free deck, and it's not pay to win because you can access every card in the game by completing daily quests and playing in competitive mode and getting gold and buying packs. It just takes you longer. You're not paying to win. You're paying to speed up the process.
That's like comparing the All-Star game to fucking like middle school baseball.
But it's
else.
not, because the first month out of the gate, someone could drop a couple $100 and have every card, and the person that doesn't want to pay a dime isn't going to have every card. But then you've got someone, over the course of the next year, you're going to have people that have never paid a dime but play it a lot, that have earned enough packs and have therefore unlocked the entire card set.
You get to rank 10 plus, you go against like 3 warriors, each with 9 legendaries in their deck, and let me know how it works.
Right, but you could be one of those warriors with 9 legendaries in your deck after not paying a dime, is my point.
it's all about time. It's all the pay structure is always the same.
Right.
So, I mean, what other news do we have on the table now?
Oh, what do we got? Actually, no, let's backtrack a little bit. When we were talking about the Destiny exclusive, I wanted to bring up what GameStop is trying to pull. We talked about it a little bit before the show. Pre-ordering at GameStop might get you exclusive gameplay. How do we feel about that?
What are you gonna do? They can do what they want with it.
They've got the money.
Yeah.
Well,
do.
they do have the money, but also they are fading from the gaming realm in general. I mean, now with Xbox Live and PS4, you can buy your games online.
Right.
their marketplaces. So they need to get back in the development cycle to make people go to the stores. Because people aren't. I went to a GameStop. There was like one employee and nobody was in there, and I only went there
because they don't want to pay for labor.
Yeah.
If you think exclusive content is bad, you wait till this shit hits effect. GameStop's getting on development stage. Wait till Walmart, like Best Buy, and these other companies get on it. Then it's not only I have to worry about exclusive content on what major company I go with for console. I have to now worry about what company I go with just for the pre-order for exclusive content. I'm not going to get.
But you got to remember, this is a two-way street. Who is actually going to say yes to this? So big name companies, I don't think they're going to take that limited
Activision.
factor.
Activision will say yes to this.
Well, Activision's a money hoe, so
Yeah, Activision will say yes. EA will say yes for sure.
So you can see a lot of major shooters. They're going to say yes to this.
Yeah, I had
what else?
BioWare is owned by EA.
So
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to see companies like New Mass Effect, which is already teased.
Yeah, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, anything done by Star Wars. I mean, Disney has given EA the Star Wars license. I mean, those are your two major players. Then you got to remember that Activision owns Blizzard. I mean, I don't think it'll affect PC gaming as much, but, I mean, there are a lot of
It's also in Bungie now, too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, see, I was having a little debate about this on Facebook in a group that I'm in on there, and something that I had came up with that I like the idea of, and a couple of people agreed with me a little bit, was having a season pass. So let's say DLC A is exclusive to GameStop, DLC B is exclusive to Walmart, C is Target, and D is whatever. So if you pre-order at GameStop, you get A, et cetera, et cetera. But if you buy the season pass, you get all of them. See, now that I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind this if they were all kind of secretly working behind the scenes to kind of almost rope people.
It's not going to happen.
You don't think that would factor?
No. Money
they will
goes
not
piece
work
of
together.
shit. There's no way multiple companies. That'd be like saying if Sony and Microsoft work together. You're not going to see.
Yeah, but they have. That's why your substandard console has a Blu-ray drive, because Xbox and because Sony and Microsoft work together.
That's such a grudgingly accepted argument. It's like seeing Walmart. The only thing in common is they're going to sell the same game. Walmart,
Right.
GameStop will be like, "Fuck you, no, we're different."
Well, no. I'm not saying that Walmart and GameStop would work together. I'm saying, like, EA, for example, right now, a typical season pass, unless you're talking about Call of Duty, where it's the cost of a game, a typical season pass is between $20 and $40. So, if I'm Activision, what I want to do is I want to give each individual company separate game access. When I sign that contract with them, the agreement is I'm going to make it available in my season pass, but if someone doesn't buy it, this segment is exclusive to you. Then I'm going to jack the price of that season pass up to the cost of a game. So now you're paying $120 for the game because you're buying a $60 game and a $60 season pass, and that's the only way to get all the content. I think that would be, I mean, it would kind of suck for us financially, but it would still give us a means to get all the content, and it would mean the most amount of money for the development company.
Yeah, but
They'd
then you
never
have the
hire
same
at
thing.
Activision.
You
There's
also
not
have
enough money signs.
You will also have the issue of what we were talking about a long time earlier, like on the podcast earlier, was unlocking content on the disc. So you're gonna run into that issue as well, where you're gonna have them saying, "Oh, here's season pass," but really this is just DLC we already put on. Like if they get in the development cycle, it's like, no, this is a GameStop specific DLC and all that crap.
Make it an unlock. That's it.
Right. Yeah. That's true. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it goes through, and I mean, it's GameStop grasping at straws. I mean, I don't
think it's gonna go.
I don't buy physical games. I mean, I do for the consoles just because that 500 gig hard drive fills up pretty fast. But and I haven't put a different hard drive in the PS4 yet. But everything else is digital, and I don't think we'll see this affect PC games much.
Yeah.
The cloud will rule all.
Cloud.
It will float above Al's superior and mock them.
It's
Right.
not. The cloud is actually not floating. It's like in India somewhere with a little guy going, "I hate my
It's
life."
still floating in India.
He's floating in India.
They're just like,
I wanna
"This
see the little
sucks."
Right. Well, while we're talking about DLC, Ubisoft has something to say about it, and they're saying that DLC is generally more accepted by gamers. With day one DLC and off the disc DLC, like Brandon, you had just mentioned, we've all kind of had our gripes with it. People bitch about being nickel and dimed, but Ubisoft says we're becoming more accepting of it. Is that the case? How do you guys feel?
It's not like they give us a choice.
Yeah, people will bitch about it, but I guarantee everyone wants that 100% game. You can offer half the game and give DLC 2 or 3 pieces on day one, and people will still end up buying it because they want that full game,
Right.
even though they bitch about it the whole time.
Gamers are impatient. That's how we are, and it's easy to
Right.
get on it. So,
Baffling under.
I mean, the thing is for that in general is that we're accepted because we have to. That's how the market's gone. You know, everyone was saying, "Oh, it's not going to be so bad," or "Oh, it's really bad," and others saying, "We're doing it on all the games. Suck a dick."
Right.
That's what happened, and it's just
It's
now we
better
are.
profit for them to do it that way.
I mean, and it all roots from the same issue again, from people having exclusive rights. You know, GameStop wanted give us items and stuff, exclusivity, and then you have unlocking, where it's like, no, all that code is in the game anyways. Just they unlock for certain things. Like Dark Souls had that thing, and then like Dark Souls 2 had that for like the different consoles and different weapons, and then on the PC version, you just got them all. Like it was hilarious.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you had that one that included, for like almost, you had the original Dark Souls of 60, plus you had Artorias of the Abyss later. But when they released it on PC, it was $49.99 for everything.
And buggy as fuck.
It was.
it was a port. So
Stupid port. It was a very shitty
Well,
port.
2 was just a port too, right? But it was done much better.
No,
no,
they planned it. Like, they knew that they were going to make it for
it was
PC. It
way
wasn't a
better
port.
on PC than it is.
You can tell it. You can tell it was developed with PC in mind, because if you play it on any of the last gen consoles, and then you play it on the PC, just the graphic quality alone in the lower setting is massively different.
You know, it's
Right.
funny.
Cutting, the frame rates, everything. There's no clipping at all on the PC. Whereas if you play it on the Xbox 360, you can clearly see clipping.
Thankfully, what just got announced also is that Dark Souls 2 is coming to PS4.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's cool.
that was one of my news articles. I thought I'd throw it in the mix.
That is-
I
Awesome.
just ordered that then. 'Cause
That's
I'm only
cool.
buying that system from Software.
Yep. They said it's going to be a next-gen kind of a remake, too, so
You
they're going to give it a big
It's
touch-up.
going to be a full release of all their DLC. Like
Right.
Second King's coming out this next week. The first round of DLC.
I
So,
don't know.
What would be cool is if they did kind of like what Metro's doing with the original and then Last
The
Light.
Redux?
If it was Dark Souls 1 with all the DLC, Dark Souls 2 with all the DLC, that would be cool.
Well, it's like, you're saying with all the DLC, Dark Souls just had one.
All encompassing, whatever the case. Like I said, I've played it for a half hour.
You know why they're doing it,
Just
right?
saying.
It's because Sony realized the fuck up they made by canceling the whole deal they had with From Software on
Yeah,
the Demon Souls.
Well,
they Demon Souls like, this is gonna suck. And then they released that and it became a cult hit. And then the Dark Souls, since they changed the IP because Demon Souls' name was owned by Sony, and
Right.
then realized like, holy shit, so many people love this game. What did we do? And they're like, hey, you guys should come back. We'll do an exclusive HD upgrade, like 2.5 remake, and we'll make it all better. That's pretty much what it was.
they're trying.
Well,
again.
aren't they doing that again? Because Bloodborne's exclusive.
Bloodborne is
Yeah,
from
Bloodborne
Software, but
is
it's actually a remake for the IP for Demon Souls.
It's the Demon Souls IP. They've confirmed it. So,
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah,
big issue
Sony
was that,
realized.
well, it's like they've fought so hard for it, and that's when From Software was actually a small company. Like they didn't have too much. They're on the core series, but they were like half of that team.
Right.
And they didn't think Demon Souls was going to make it. Like, they released it, and they didn't like it, and they didn't enjoy it. They didn't think it reached the audience they want, so they pretty much canceled the IP.
I mean, the funny story about that was that in Japan, Demon Souls did not get its bearings up until it hit the States, and it was huge here, and then they started playing it again over there. Like, the story's so weird behind the game.
Right.
Like, Sony really does focus more on the Japanese market than it does here in the U.S. market, and Microsoft does the opposite. So, you kind of have two different forays into, like, the next-gen consoles.
Right.
A big example of that, too, is the new Final Fantasy, Realm Reborn. they focused minorly on it. But when it hit the States, it got huge for FF when they remade it. FF14 blew.
Yeah, it did.
To Realm Reborn. It hit minorly in the Korean market and the Japanese market. And then it got to the American market, and people were like, oh, this is actually pretty sweet. And then it got huge over in the Asian market.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. I will get Bloodborne. It's going to be awesome.
How can it not?
You know.
Right.
But, and I said, you know, Nate, if you wanted to pick it up, Dark Souls, with all the DLCs, was available on the Xbox Gold like a month ago. It should come up again.
I don't have Xbox.
Oh, I thought you had it.
No. I sold...
Kyle's the only one I get along with, goddamn.
I sold...
You're all on the PlayStation.
I sold the wannabe next-gen system, and I bought the real one.
See, the hate for the bone. The X-Bone
All
is
this
just the hated
The
on.
truth. All
It's
this
a
is
bone. Come on. It's the name of the console, the X-Bone. Come on, that's stupid.
That's because
They're
it
all
pulls
the
it pulls its wang out and it just does its thing.
Yeah, which is absolutely nothing.
Hey,
Look at
fine.
me!
Sometimes I don't need anything when I pull my wang out. I'm just good to go.
Shit.
I can see Kyle and Brandon's face and they're like, no, just no.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Well, hey, we are getting pretty close to our hour here, and I know that one of our hosts doesn't feel that well, so we'll get ready to do our wrap up. Start with Rick. Rick, what are your closing thoughts for today?
My big thing, like I said, is Destiny. The beta's coming. Just get on it. Halo 2.5, whatever. Just fucking play it. I guarantee if you like loot whoring games, if you like shooters, if you like MMOs, you like RPGs, just play the goddamn game. Give it an hour of your time, and you will not want to play anything else. You'll take a whole goddamn month off in September when that game comes out.
All right.
Just give it some time.
Well,
Don't
I
judge
won't
it.
be because I have to take a week off to go to BlizzCon in November, so.
Woo, BlizzCon.
I know. So fucking excited. We're getting closer. I know. It's like we were so excited about it. What was that, in like March or May? May, right? Yeah, something like that. And now it's like already mid-July. It's just creeping up on us.
And Brandon has lost.
Yeah, we lost Brandon. He was having mic problems tonight.
Yeah, he's super quiet.
Yeah, I felt bad because I could barely hear him. He kept getting cut off. So,
Yeah, he did. This wasn't
Oh, can I
fair.
do one more thing?
Sure.
Thanks
Well,
for
actually,
joining us.
Brandon was our sick host, so that's why I was trying to cut it early. So we can if you guys got some more stuff to talk about, we can track
I was
this
gonna
on
say
a
Knights
little
of
bit.
Sidonia. The animation style will probably piss you off. Like, I liked Wind Waker. I like Cell Shading.
What
I
what
watched the animation
is
style, and I didn't like it.
what
If
is
you give it
Knights of
some time.
Sidonia? Because all I know of Knights of Sidonia is that's the name of a Muse song.
It's
It totally
the storyline is
dude.
cool. It's almost like Dead Space meets like futuristic colony.
Have you
Like they
watched
have these
Attack
things
on
called.
Titan?
Yeah, I love Attack on Titan.
Dude's the best.
I mean, if
Like,
it's
Did that
in
Kickstarter go through? Does anybody know?
What?
Did their Kickstarter go through for season 2?
No, it's
Yes.
still going.
Still going?
Season 2 was verified, though.
Yeah, but as
Was
far
it?
as I know, the Kickstarter is still up. Like
Yeah,
they're
the
still
Kickstarter's
accepting
still up.
money.
They need some extra funding for the finishing episodes, but they were already greenlit for the season 2. I'm pretty sure I saw that on Crunchyroll a month ago. So
Oh, okay.
Watch
it's greenlit,
Tokyo
but yeah, it's like the studio Gainax old issues where, hey, we got greenlit, we do not have enough money.
See, I didn't check it in the last 2 days. Like I looked at it 4 days ago, and they were still like fully accepting all Kickstarter with nothing up.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Mm-hmm.
So wait, who's next?
Who is next? Let's go with Kyle. Kyle, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I guess for Wolf Among Us, like, great narrative. I love Telltale games. Walking Dead should be good. The next couple episodes. But, you know, and with the new IPs that they're getting what, Game of Thrones and Borderlands, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that narrative style I'm really on board with. And I think
Fuck!
the general populace
Borderlands. Sorry. Finish your thought, and then we have to backtrack a little bit. Thank you for saying
is.
Borderlands.
Oh, my gosh.
I said it like
But-
4 times. God damn it.
Borderlands. What does that matter?
See, here we go.
All right.
Both Kyle and
Okay,
Kory.
hold on.
Okay.
All right. Gearbox announced a first-person MOBA. It's going to be Borderlands-ish based.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Oh.
You talking about Battleborn?
Yes, and it's being described as an intergalactic first-person battle arena.
Intergalactic.
I know. I'm excited. Rick, you're probably excited. That's like your two favorite video game things having an orgy.
I like loot whoring. It's just all I'm about. So I don't know how I feel about Battleborn. I haven't seen any gameplay. I watched the trailer for it and I was like, sweet. They're murdering things.
So,
Awesome.
so your love for Borderlands isn't that you love Borderlands; it's that you love shiny things.
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I play WoW.
oh,
It's why I play
okay.
Destiny. I want sweet ass loot, and they'd be like, "Look at my sweet ass loot. You suck. Your loot's not as good as mine."
I look way cooler than you.
Right.
Pretty much. Look how much time I've invested into
My
this. I have
my
no life, and you clearly do.
my
Screw
EP
off.
is shinier than yours. I've seen so many memes about that lately. I mean, it's been something that everyone's always said, but just lately the memes have been crazy. The whole somebody who is worse than you is a noob, and somebody who's better than you has no life, and you are just right.
Yeah, that's the gaming community.
Like, yeah,
And
well,
the
yeah,
internet in general.
it's been the gaming community forever, but it's just like that's
And now it's leaked into the mainstream. That's how the internet is.
right,
Like, anonymity gives that. It's like, nope, I'm always right.
right,
My penis size
I have that
is just
shirt.
right.
right,
That like purple epic birthday shirt.
right,
So I know what you're talking about.
right. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's cool. Kory, final thoughts for the evening?
Final thoughts. Free fan-made Pokemon game powered by CryEngine. What? I think that's going to be awesome. They even shut down the video because Nintendo sucks and they like to flag everything.
Right,
Dicks.
right.
But it
It
looks
even
incredible.
talks about streaming.
Even
you know the
streaming
reason,
now?
You know the reason behind that, right? Like their Nintendo has a really weird like 1970s toy philosophy where if they don't brand it, it's not theirs. Take it
Right.
If they don't make a semi-profit, you can't do it, or they're gonna be pissed.
It's like fuck off.
Right.
I forgot it was their head director. Somebody said like we are a toy company. I don't know if you guys get it. We still believe ourselves to be a toy company. So that's why they have all the freaking Wii gadgets and all that crap.
Right.
Half clips of Mario, yours 14 cents.
Yeah, so it's really an interesting philosophy. It's like it's the only original from the original console wars, like that's still around. It's like we're toys, we're still toys.
Right. Well, it's about what they're equivalent to. So,
They are. You use them as such.
right.
So I thought that was a really interesting take on like the new gamer. It's like no, and they do like digital downloads. They did that first with 3DSs and stuff like that.
Right.
They have really good ways of doing it, but just like getting their marketing out is so last generation, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Their digital marketplace is solid, but the actual content of it isn't.
Oh yeah,
I've looked
Right.
through it on the Wii U. Like, I'm a huge Zelda fan. I've owned every Zelda for every system. I've bought Nintendo systems just for
for
like
Zelda. I've done
Zelda.
that.
Right.
Yep.
Do you-
And like they're
Rick-
lacking. Like, yeah, Wind Waker HD. That's sweet. Where's Skyward Sword? Why can I not download that? I don't want to go out and get the shit.
Right.
Like,
Right.
when they showed the Wii U, they showed an HD model for Skyward Sword. Where the fuck is that?
Yeah, and then we got what we're getting now.
So,
Rick, do you have a 3DS?
Yeah.
Have you
I feel
played?
like I don't run the PlayStation shit console or handheld. Sorry, you PlayStation users. I don't like the Vitas or the PSPs. It doesn't
See,
appeal.
the Vita
I don't have a
Pokemon.
video.
as
If you run Pokemon on your system, I can be 50 years old and I will buy fucking Pokemon on your handheld.
okay, well, I loved Pokemon back in the day, but they need to stop rehashing the game every year. They need to make
It's
a
not
new
rehashed.
game. Oh, it's rehashed. It's rehashed.
No.
The only difference between X and Y and the last one was that X and Y was in 3D. That's the only difference. Anyway, no, the reason I was asking was because have you played Elite? Well, first off, let me backtrack a little bit. The Vita, the titles that came out for the Vita are generally horrible, with the exception
Yeah, I
of...
was gonna say, have you played Borderlands in the Vita?
Yeah, it's
Have you tried
garbage.
it?
It's garbage.
It's fucking awful.
It is, but the Final Fantasy X HD remake is nice. The one thing I like about the Vita is having remote play for the PlayStation 1 classics.
It's a control. That's what it.
Yeah, having
So
the
we
We
can
remote.
want
move
Final
forward.
Fantasy Tactics, then we'll talk about the Vita.
I-
I want more tactics.
I have both Final Fantasy Tactics on my Vita.
I want more. You give me about 10 tactics titles, Mavita. Maybe we'll see.
I think we'll see those types of games come back. We had a heavy influx of them in the mid-late 90s, early 2000s with Shining Force, Fallout, Final Fantasy Tactics, and then things kind of drifted away. I mean, we have a large populace of brainless gamers that want first-person shooters.
So the same problem I said with WoW and how they reimagined it, where basically a simpleton can play it.
Yeah,
They want more market share. They want people to play it.
that's what it is.
We can make it complex and interesting. Nah, let's not do that. Let's make it
Well, no,
super
that's
simple.
why. That's why you have like Dark Souls having or From Software having such a huge following, because it's people that want a challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
Games
Well,
that
there's a
want
difference
Fortnite.
between being challenging. I mean, you can be complex and interesting, but still be easy to figure out. Because if you look at it, like, for example, look at Elder Scrolls Online. That was complex and challenging, and it's bombing. It's losing subscription numbers every month.
I want Battletoads
look at-
difficulty in all my games.
Yes.
Every game, in order to beat it, you have to finish the Battletoads hover bike level.
It's just there. You can play My Little Pony Island Adventure 2, and there's the Battletoads hoverboard level. It's there.
Anyway, back to the 3DS question. Have you played Link Between Worlds?
Yes.
I really enjoy that title.
Yes. My favorite, my all-time favorite is definitely A Link to the Past. But Four Swords was actually amazing. Like, I loved Four Swords.
My
Four Swords
all-time
was awesome.
favorite's Ocarina of Time.
Mine's Link to the Past. Link to the Past is
But
just
you're right.
classic, old school SNES, good time, graphic, fun Link.
Majora's and Twilight are my favorite, really. So,
Right.
but for gameplay, Ocarina of Time was the best because it was just like we're overhauling this shit, and making it awesome.
Right. See, that's why
Shadow Temple.
I never
Shadow Temple was
finished.
amazing.
I never finished Majora's because it just, to me, I'm like, I want Ocarina, and it was similar gameplay, but I don't know, it just didn't pull me in the way Ocarina did.
Well,
If
it
you
was
got the Deity
basically
Mask, it was worth it.
the Majora's Mask was great. Yeah, like the story was darker, the overall tone was darker, and it was basically them saying, "I want more money, but I want a good game. Let's just reuse everything. Screw it."
Right.
The
Fair
Deity
enough.
Mask was basically, this world sucks, it's gonna die because the moon coming in. But you can be a goddamn superhero shooting laser beams.
Right.
That was
For
rad.
20 minutes.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah. It was
Kill
awesome.
badass for 5 minutes. Kill this boss.
And you had
Good.
the fairy sword. The fairies are like, oh, we're fairies. Here's
Right.
a giant effing sword for you to murder things.
It was one of the first games where it gave you for 100%. It gave you a tangible thing for the game that helped the game. Like, it was
Right.
one of those. And then on top of that, it was one of those where it was it reused the engine. Like basically, it was the same engine.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Now
You
it's
remember
better.
in Link to
Slight
the
little
Past,
changes.
you had your wands. One of your wands was optional, and that made a huge difference in your gameplay.
Right. Oh, definitely.
But I mean, engine being reused is now all over the place. You know, but
Right.
that was back in the '90s when people just kind of made an engine and just scrapped it.
Right.
Right.
Just made it over. But it was like, nope, same engine, same game style, just another.
Well, that's the COD mentality right there. Same engine, same game, different paint job.
And all the sports games,
Yeah. Well, typically, and we won't get into that, but typically with those, what they do is they take a certain part of the engine every year and they basically rebuild a part of it to work with what was there, like whether it's the catching system or the tackle system or animations. But for the most part, they're the same game. I mean,
and they're mostly the same. Like
Right.
it's just
it's a roster update. And the fact that if you want to continue playing online, you have to buy the current one because they shut the servers down for last year's.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, and GameSpy servers went down. We didn't even talk about that. Did we?
I thought that was that recent?
That was like a week or two ago.
Or was it? I know I had
I thought
heard
we
about.
talked about that.
I had
Games
heard
for
about it.
Windows
Like,
Live,
we talked about that
kinda going shit.
too. Yeah, that's fallen off the horse. But unfortunately, it's still around for a little
But,
while.
like a bunch of games, like their online servers
Are
going
gone. Yeah, like Civ
they're gone.
5 online's gone.
Games for Windows Live is quote unquote broken, and they're working on it for some games.
They need to just get rid of it.
Nice.
Anyway, well, I'll spin the mic over to me for my final thoughts. Yeah, I mean, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, it's kind of what's been going on. Looking forward to Curse and Axaramis. One thing we haven't really talked about, but I'm looking forward to 2.1 for Diablo 3. Really excited about the seasons. Kyle doesn't care.
Diablo.
But that's about it. I've been kicking with Far Cry and playing that, and finally got my computer up and running after yesterday's little debacle. But yeah, those are kind of my final thoughts. Well, before we sign off for the night, we do have a gift card to give away. And I have my phone blowing up with Skype messages. You guys need to talk as much as you type.
That's right.
We're waiting on you to finish your little section there, buddy.
We're talking random shit.
All right.
Yeah, random shit.
We have our giveaway. Somebody want to do a drum roll for me? Why not the guy that makes the most background noise? That's appropriate. All right.
Come on,
So
my drum roll's the best.
our first official giveaway is going to go to
Me.
yeah. No, we want
Giveaway.
to congratulate Torak. Our random number selector pulled him up, so he is our winner.
Korak is?
Torak won it.
All right, buddy.
I
Good job,
know.
Korak.
We had about 33, I think was my total number, 33 or 34 total entrants. I assigned everyone a number and went through the random program and did that before the show. So
Cool.
again, congrats, Torak. I will be emailing you that digital. Actually, I don't know if I have your email. I have you on Twitter. So I will tweet you, and then you can tweet me your email, and I'll email you the code. So congratulations, sir. Use it to buy some cards in Hearthstone, or pay for a month of WoW so your wife can bitch at you. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so that's going to do it for today's show. As always, thanks everyone for taking the time to listen to us. We're here just having a good time every Friday night, and we appreciate everyone that puts up with us for the hour that we're around.
Yeah, we do stuff.
We do stuff, yeah. We're here to have a good time, so that's all it's for. We are here every Friday night. We have been recording around 10. We might be going back to the originally announced 9 p.m. time slot. That is Eastern time. That doesn't matter if you don't watch the live show. But it is, yeah, we'll see. But if you catch us, if you listen to the recording, then don't worry about it. And you can find that podcast recording on iTunes or wherever other quality podcasts are downloaded. As always, just search for Geek Access. Excuse me. You can always check out the recorded videos as well at bit.ly/igeekvideos. Kory, Brandon, and myself can be found on Twitter at IG_AudioKing for Kory, at John1Renicus for Brandon, and at IG_Nate Ward for myself. We do stream on Twitch TV throughout the week. Kory's Audio King, Brandon's John1Renicus, and you can find me on the studio channel, which is Inked Geek Studios. Before we go, as always, we want to thank JC Monkey for doing our artwork. You can check out his other stuff at jcmcomics.com. And we want to thank Dustin Bayat for our audio work. He can be found at Bayat Music on Twitter. Last but certainly not least, as always, we want to thank our patrons, helping us out every single week, making this show a little bit easier to bring to life. And if you want to become a patron yourself, you can go to bit.ly/supportgeekaccess. And no matter how big or small, we appreciate all the support. Follow us on Twitter at IG_geekaccess. Check out our website at inkedgeekstudios.com. If you have a topic that you'd like discussed on next week's show, you can stop by our subreddit at r/inkedgeekstudios. You can also email us or tweet us. We do have a phone number now, so you can call the show, leave a voicemail. You can either set up whether you want it played on the show or not. It's area code 207-200-5590. That'll do it. So for myself, for Kory, for Brandon, who has departed, for Kyle, and for Rick, thank you all for listening, and at least 3 of us will see you next week.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
Up to streaming everything else. Balmorn.
Hang
Turn it
on.
up.